Everybody, it's the Essence, and I hope you're having a great day. Today we got another scouting breakdown, this time on Caleb Holt, shooting guard that's going to Arizona this upcoming college basketball season, and many people think that he is one of the top guard prospects in this class, if not one of the top prospects in general. And I would fall more into that he's definitely one of these top guard prospects. I would say I'd have him top 5 in the class as a whole. But let's get right into his game. The first thing that you'll notice about Caleb Holt is his constant tenacity and activity off the ball as a rebounder and defender. He influences the possession battle in droves, and you're going to see him get this off the catch three right there. You see a preview of the jumper. It looks very nice. It looks very fluid and comfortable. I love his shot. I really do buy into it. But the main thing that I buy into is this impact on the boards. He gets many offensive rebounds, many defensive rebounds. He's great at boxing out because he's super solid and strong, very long, and also just super impactful and active on the boards. He's always trying to make an effort to be as active on the boards as possible. And one thing that I'll say about Caleb Holt is that when you watch him play, you truly do realize that he's not a great rebounder for a guard. He's just a great rebounder, period. And it's something that he shows in about every game that I watched him play. He's just always around the ball. He has a nose for it. He's getting into position. He's ripping through. Right here on this play, this guy takes his jumper. He's going to cut through the middle. He's the first one to that ball, high points it, puts it in. This is something that he's shown throughout pretty much every game that I've watched of him, even when Arizona was playing against that Lithuanian national team, which we have clips of that, and we're going to get into those later. But it's something that is extremely noticeable, extremely evident about Caleb Holt's game, is that even if the offense doesn't come around, this is a guy that impacts the game defensively and rebounding at such a high level that it really doesn't matter what the offense looks like for Caleb Holt. Obviously, he can't be awful this year at Arizona, but I'm still going to buy into all of those other things. The trench work that he can do is genuinely amazing. Like this game I'm showing you against New Heights, he did not have a great game, but he just impacted the game so much, doing those little things, playing great help defense, rebounding the shit out of the ball, just being extremely active, playing with the most effort out of anyone on the court. That's one thing I love about Caleb Holt. He is always playing harder than everyone else. See him rip this ball handler right here in position. He's a great nail defender. You see the anticipation right there too, just seeing that guard drive into that space, being there ready to rip the ball handler the moment the dribble goes down, is something that Caleb Holt's great at. He has very long arms and he's able to scrape at the ground at a very high level, as well as jump passing lanes at a very high level. You see him right here off ball roaming. He then sees this guy pick up his dribble, and he knows that this is about the only option that this guy's going to have when he flashes. So you know what he does? He bodies up this guy trying to flash, doesn't really let him get an angle, then sprints into the passing lane, gets this deflection, turns it into a steal with those long arms, gets out on the break, ends up blowing that layup, which that's something we're going to get to later. The touch around the rim could be better, but the things he does in spite of that are insane. Like right here, just constant effort, draws a foul on the glass right there. He sees the Darion Rippey is just not paying attention, so he's going to jump up, high point that ball, smack it off the backboard, end up drawing a foul. And those are the plays that are basically that shape Caleb Holt's game. He's this guard. He's absolutely a two guard. I see some potential for him to be a one guard, maybe be more on the ball, but I think he's an obvious shooting guard, which is kind of rare nowadays. I feel like we don't get a lot of prospects that are very clearly shooting guards opposed to point guards or combo guards. I feel like Caleb Holt's better in that off the ball role because he just impacts the game in all these little ways that I'm showing you, and he doesn't really need to be that primary initiator. I think he's actually better off the ball with that shooting ability. And here's another clip of him just being extremely active off the ball, cutting off that driving lane, then smacking this ball off that opposing player right there, and it led to a turnover. But you're again seeing just what his impact is like, just super engaged, super connected, using those long arms to swipe and strip, and just really quick twitch movements is something that is very characterized in his game. He's a guy that just is moving 100 miles an hour, just coming at you with the utmost tenacity. And a lot of people at the high school level just could not handle the monster that Caleb Holt is when it comes to just sheer effort. I don't see many other people in this class play as hard as Caleb Holt plays consistently. It does not matter what game, like in terms of importance it is to him. He is giving 100% effort no matter what. In that scrimmage against Lithuania that we're gonna get to, he was trying his damnedest. It was insane. But this is another clip of him active, gets the rebound, kicks it up the floor. This guy's gonna miss this three, and then they're gonna get the ball back out with another rebound. Caleb's gonna then see this shot go up. Look, everyone's in position to box out. Like this should be an easy defensive rebound. But Caleb Holt's going to get to the middle of the floor and high point this like a wide receiver, moss his own teammate, and get the offensive rebound. Like, that's the type of plays that Caleb Holt brings to you consistently from the guard position as well. Just an elite offensive rebounder. And we're going to get into more defensive stuff too right here with him jumping this passing lane, using those long arms, using those active hands. Again, he's very active off the ball. This is elite help the helper stuff where he sees that Motias has to step over, and though he really should just be playing in between these two guys, kind of zoning up, he knows he has the length to jump that passing lane. He has the quick hands, he has the anticipation to lead to a steal right there. And this is another just elite defensive clip, him fighting over a screen, staying engaged in help, and then with a guy trying to throw a pass around him where he's not even looking, he is active enough to snatch that up and get a steal. Like, this guy gets many rebounds, many steals. The possession battle is something that Caleb Holt influences in every game that he plays, and that's why I have such a high projection of him. I feel like a lot of the people that I see talk about Caleb Holt, they have this high projection of him because they're projecting a very high offensive ceiling. And while I don't see that, I don't think he needs that, because he affects the game in these ways that are just as impactful in terms of winning. Caleb Holt is a winning player. Like, that's how I would describe him, just because of how hard he plays. And now we're going to get into the offensive game of Caleb Holt, which is pretty promising. The jumper looks nice. That's the first thing that I want to talk about. I really do buy him as a shooter, and even though the touch around the rim can be questionable at times, the moment I saw him shoot the ball for the first time, I just kind of knew. You know what I mean? He's just one of those guys where the ball just looks so nice coming off of his hands that you really do feel like there's not a high chance of that, those guys that can shoot in high school and then come up to the higher levels and they're not able to get their shot off. I don't think there's any sort of chance of that with Caleb Holt, especially because I see him as this off the ball guy. If he can just be a floor spacer, I think that that's really where his value would lie, because the off the catch jumper looks really great, and you've seen it throughout this video. It's so fluid, it's fast. He just looks super comfortable and balanced. And even though, yeah, the touch at the rim is questionable and sometimes he can struggle a little bit at the free throw line, I do really buy his jumper, and it's my favorite skill of his offensively, obviously, besides his explosiveness. Very explosive athlete, quick twitch. You see some of the driving game on this play, coming off the double stagger screen, drives hard left, spins right, bumps that defender, and one floater right there. And you're again seeing that strength that he has. He's really good at using his body to bump defenders because he does have such a solid frame and very long and strong arms that he can use to create advantages with. And he's got a pretty comfortable handle as well. Nothing insane, I would say. He's not like an extremely shifty ball handler or shot creator, but he can get where he needs to get, and that's all that matters when you're massive and athletic as hell like Caleb is. It's something that I do have a little bit of issues like about when it comes to his self-creation stuff. You see him sprinting up the floor, and again, that was another Caleb Holt rebound right there. But this, we'll get to it in a second. He's a little bit stiff offensively, and there's a reason why I said that he's pretty much going to be a two guard no matter what. This is nice explosiveness though, good pad level. Again, you're going to see the bump to that defender. This is a grown man, sends him off him, gets that floater. Um, we'll get to more of my self creation concerns in a second. I was about to get to that, but we'll hold off a little bit. But you're seeing some of the Lithuania game, by the way. We're getting into that now. But one thing that I did really like from Caleb Holt, that I saw some growth from the high school tape to this game in Lithuania, is, I mean, he was making good reads in the pick and roll. Like, I think that this is something that he can actually bring to the college level, and I don't think he really did it that much in high school, but he's a very capable pick and roll ball handler and decision maker. You see the calmness, the change of pace that he uses to just get his guys a little bit of an opening, uses his downhill threat and athleticism to basically force that drop defender to respect him, and he's great at finding the roller because of that. You see in the clips is just super adept in these situations, and it's crazy to see because he really wasn't like this in high school much. But the calmness, you see the patient dribble right there, the high pickup into and then waiting for this guy to jump, then to dump it over. Like, that's very smart operation stuff right there in the pick and roll from a guy that's not really known for that at all. And then this is a nice dribble hop. Then he sees that this guy's stepping up on him to stop the driving lane, so he's going to dump it over top. Just makes quick decisions in the pick and roll. I will say he's not this guy that's going to throw crazy skip passes or make crazy, like, two-step ahead reads or anything like that. But this pick and roll stuff is it's very intriguing. And another rebound from Caleb Holt, as you see. And then this is a really nice passing clip where he's going to get downhill and he's going to show a little bit of that potential to maybe be a higher level passer one day. Rondo fake, pass fake out, looks in, then back out, completely confuses that defender, finds this guy wide open in the corner, and he hits that three. That's a really good playmaking rep. But one thing that I will say about Caleb Holt, I don't really buy the self-creation all that much. Okay, so this is what I'm going to get into. Great shooting guard prospect, elite rebounder, elite defender, has that off the catch jumper that is very promising, can get you a bucket around the rim because of the elite athletic tools. But on the ball as a self creator, Caleb Holt really struggles if he doesn't have a screen. Caleb Holt is very limited as an on the ball shot creator. He's really not super shifty. His handle's not bad. I'm not saying that. His handle's fine. Like, it's not anywhere near bad, but it's not a handle that is useful when it comes to on the ball shot creation. This is him against Darion Rippey, who's extremely small compared to him. You can see it right there, and he's just not really able to create much space at all. Throws up a really bad jumper, ends up getting the rebound because he's Caleb Holt, but there's a lot of stuff like that in his tape where he's just really not able to create much separation at all, one-on-one with the defender, and it leads to a lot of bad shots because once he gets into these one-on-one situations, he tends to not kick the ball out either. He'll shoot that shot very confident, but if he can't overwhelm with his athletic tools and just, like, completely bump you and just, like, bowling ball you to the rim, like, he really isn't great as a shot creator, and it leads to some bad attempts. And then what we're going to get to in this clip, and this clip's crazy in the fast break and transition, like, this is a crazy, like, him cutting through windows, doing all this crazy ball handling stuff, but then the touch at the rim has to be better than this. Him getting through, that's a crazy behind the back, nice low pickup to get through this window, completely smokes a wide open layup that he created with some flashy ball handling, great, like, knowledge of space and tricking defenders with momentum to the low pickup, getting a wide open lane due to all of that stuff, and then just completely is unable to cash in. A clip like this where he drives into this lane and he's again trying to overwhelm with those athletic tools and that downhill talent that he has due to the tools that he has, that elite vertical and speed and jumping ability to hang in the air and finish. But overall, when defenders can take that away and he can't really get to a off the dribble jumper, which is not really something that he has in his game, he tends to take really bad shots like here and get blocked when he has two wide open reads out on the perimeter here. Like, this is not a great clip from Caleb Holt at all, and it's something that I have seen in his game a lot. If he is unable to get that, lane to the rim, he's gonna shoot a bad jumper, or he's just gonna jump into people, or he's just not gonna pass the ball. And I've shown you that he's a capable playmaker, but he has this issue when he gets into a one-on-one situation. He does not want to pass out of it, and it's like, man, sometimes you have to. Especially if maybe one day he wants to be that on-ball shot creator. There's also a clip like this where he just jumps in the air without a plan and travels. That was like one other thing I wanted to speak on. He kind of can get caught in the air a good amount, jump passing, and trying to just do too much at times, because he was tasked with being an initiator at the high school level a decent amount, and I just don't think that's not his role. He's going to be a shooting guard in my opinion, but with all that he brings, other than that self-creation, I think this is like a player that would fit on so many NBA teams. And I think he's going to be great at Arizona. I think he's only going to get better. A lot of the things that I've spoken about in this video, like the self-creation struggles and the touch around the rim struggles, sometimes playmaking can be a little wish-washy, and like off the dribble jumpers are something that he's yet to add to his game. I think he's only getting better though, and he did struggle when they went and played those 2 games in Lithuania. His shooting percentage was in like the 30s or something, and that's for field goals, so he was really struggling touch wise there. But I think that there's only really an upwards trajectory when it comes to Caleb Holt's game, because he is already so impactful in those trench areas, that dirty work stuff. He is amazing at it, and he is a guy that I believe can be a great shooter. He can self-create sometimes downhill. Pick and roll stuff is looking better. I think Caleb Holt is one of the best guards in this class, and if he can take those steps in the right direction, he could be the best player. He could easily be the best player in this draft if the handle gets better, if the off the dribble shot making gets better, the playmaking vision gets better. He could be crazy. The touch around the rim also has to improve, but I feel like there's an absolute path to all of those things happening. So I really like Caleb Holt's game. I think he'll be amazing at Arizona next year, and I think he'll be a great player in the NBA one day. But that's my take on Caleb Holt. I hope you enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see him play at Arizona this year. But if you enjoyed this video, subscribe. New videos every week about your favorite prospects, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.